talk about their vision for empowering solutions.
Good morning. As Ian said, I'm Gift Nyikayaramba, a student at Duke University where I'm studying electrical and computer engineering. I'm from Zimbabwe. So 550 million people are estimated to not have power on the African continent. And at night, there is an image that looks like this. As you can see, there are a few clusters of light here and there, but then the vast majority of the continent does not have access to electricity. Now, I grew up in a Zimbabwe in which I saw the power supply situation change from one in which you were assured that if you called in an outage, it would be fixed within half an hour to an hour, to one in which it took so long, sometimes even weeks, for the power to be restored, that its restoration was a cause for celebration, especially among young children. I started channeling some of the frustration that had built up within me because of this lack of reliable power when I moved to South Africa to attend the African Leadership Academy. At the African Leadership Academy, I was part of an organization called Green Dome, which was a student organization that was targeted at raising awareness about energy issues on campus and also developing some small-scale renewable energy solutions. Through that process, I gained a better awareness of the challenges that are facing Africa in the energy sector. At the end of my first year at Duke University, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my degree upon graduation. And in this process, it was my love for computers that eventually directed me towards energy. I absolutely love computers. Ever since we got one at home when I was 9 years old, my interest in them quickly turned from a fascination to a deep desire to find out how exactly they work and to doctor them. Now, my parents were not very big fans of this process because for them, it had very direct implications on their bank account because they had to pay bills when I caused a breakdown or two and someone else had to come in and repair. And luckily, their chastisement was in good faith and it did not deter me from taking a technical path. So the problem that I ended up narrowing in on was that of the provision of low-cost and low-power computers for the African continent. But as I was investigating this further, I realized that with 550 million people lacking access to power, there was a more fundamental problem to solve before my dream of low-cost, low-power computing would be realized. So I refocused my efforts to solar energy. Over the past year, I've been working on research that is focused at improving the efficiencies of organic solar cells. Organic solar cells function in much the same way that silicon solar cells, which have been the main medium that has been used for distributing solar energy works. But then the advantage is that they're cheaper, both in terms of environmental cost and economical cost. And also, they're very flexible and versatile, allowing their use from a range of uses, from clothing to building material. I have a few images up on the screen showing their use in building material and also showing their flexibility and versatility. The work that I've been doing is focused on investigating the charge carrier transport mechanisms that are at play when the sun's energy is converted to electricity. And it is hoped that, and by better understanding these processes, you can then fabricate these cells so that they are more efficient and cheaper. And over the past year, we have seen our efficiencies improve from the sub 1% range to 2%. And the future is bright in that regard because the method that we're using allows us a good measure of control over the fabrication process. Looking forward, I'm looking to pursue a PhD program that is targeted at developing low-cost power solutions for the African continent, be it by working on more solar cells or on low-cost electronics that use the energy that we have more efficiently. And as I set out to do this, there are a few things that I hope will be in place through the efforts of government and business leaders such as yourselves. The first among this is investment into research and development. Because I believe that if we're able to bring some of the science that develops these solutions back to the African continent, we'll be able to tailor solutions that will be better placed to solve the problems on the ground. In addition to this, one of the problems that has been plaguing solar energy technology has been cost. A lot of these systems come with a huge upfront cost that makes it impossible for a lot of people at the bottom of the pyramid to afford them. So if we're going to have them deployed widely, then we need to work on innovative financing solutions for the people at the bottom of the pyramid. And lastly, as we establish new infrastructure, the rest of the world is moving towards a smart grid, which allows us to gather data about people's future usage patterns. And I hope that this will be factored into the plans that will be discussed here and beyond this week as we are discussing energy on the African continent. I think this will allow us to design better policy and also better technological solutions to help people gain access to power so that we don't have a situation where we have more than half of the continent lacking access to power. Thank you, and I hope you have a good summit.